Welcome back to another deck profile, guys. So we're going to jump right into it today, and we're going to talk about Hannibal. Hannibal's actually a very different type of leader. So at the end of your turn, you may return one of your cost 2 or greater impel down characters to your hand, set up to one Don card from your Don deck as active. So he ramps that way. He ramps by bouncing cards back to your hand. So I've decided to build the deck like this for now. We're going to continue on, obviously, like we are doing with Bonnie, and try and get it to a really nice balance. So I've decided to put 4 of these in. Prince, he's a 2k counter, 2 cost. Attach 1 Don when attacking. If you have 1 or less cards in your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. So that can be on your board or on your opponent's board, because it says owners. It doesn't say opponent. We've got 2 Dracula Mihawk. I think I might even bump him up. He's a 9 cost. His on play is place up to 1 character with a cost of 7 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. He's actually pretty decent. He's actually a really decent card in this deck. We have Ulti. We have 4 of her. She's a counter. She's 1k counter, 4 cost. On play, if your leader is multicolored, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 to your hand, then place the rest in any order on the top or bottom of your deck. So you can either bottom deck it if you don't like it, or if you do like it and you want whatever card to come out next, you can arrange it to have that card to come out next. I decided to put 2 Charlotte Puddins in. She's a 4 cost 1k counter. On play, your opponent returns all of their cards to their deck and shuffles their deck. Then your opponent draws 5 cards. So this is really good matchup against any green deck that likes to have multiple cards in hand. Whitebeard, because he likes to hold on to counters. So I've just got 2 in there at the moment. I could bump it up, see how we go, but there's not a lot of Whitebeards playing out there. But I think I will with the potential of Jewelry Bonnie in OP07. Decided to run 4 Evas. He is a 3 cost 1k counter. The on-play ability, reveal the top card of your deck. Play up to 1 cost 2 character card. Then return the remaining card to the top or bottom of your deck. When attacking, once per turn, if your hand 6 cards or less, draw a card. So the ability of the on-play is you know what card's going to come next. If you don't want that card, bottom deck it. If you want that card, keep it on top. So it's very viable, can be bounced back off Hannibal's ability also. Decided to put 3 of the Minichihuahua, that's what I call it. He is a 4 cost, no counter, rush, and on KO, if your leader has Impel down type, add up to 1 Don card from your Don deck and rest it. So you can still be bounced back off the leader ability as well. And everyone's favourite card at the moment, Bonclay. On play, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's characters. This character has the same base power as the chosen character for this turn. So just say if your opponent's got the 9 cost Dracula Mihawk out, you can actually mimic that power and attack lead or attack wherever you want to. So it becomes a 9 cost on that turn, potentially. Run 4 Sadie. Sadie's actually really good. She plays out the Jailer Beast, so she plays out Minchihuahua, Miniquala, and Minotaur, and there is 2 more, Minizebra, and the Rhinoceros dude. So she plays out multiple more. So her on playability is to play up to 1 Jailer Beast type character card from hand, and she's 2k counter, costs 3 as well. And I tend to try and bounce her back with the leader ability so I can reuse her again. So it also helps ramps. Domino is just straight up a blocker, 2 cost 1k counter. Sometimes you can play her out at the start for 2, bounce her back, ramp to 3. Magellan's actually pretty decent too. So Magellan's a 5 cost, no counter, 6k power. On play, -1 Don, your opponent returns one of their Don cards on the field to their Don deck. And opponent's turn, when the character is KO'd, your opponent returns 2 of their Don cards on the field to their Don deck. So sometimes I'll play him out and bounce him back to... I'll play him out to minus the Don. I'll bounce him back so I get my Don back. Just depends where you're at in the game. Like, I want to try and ramp to 9-10 Don really quick so I can get either the Dracula or Kaido out. So we've got Minoquala, 4 cost, 1k counter. It's a blocker if your leader has Impel down type. So this is on KO. Add up to 1 Don card from Don deck rested. So all of them do the same thing. You're going to ramp if you let it die. So it's definitely a good card. Plays out off Sadie. Definitely a viable card to have in the deck, and it's a blocker. We've got the 4 cost Minotaur, 1k counter, double attack, and the on KO thing happens the same thing. You bring a Don from the Don deck rested. We have 2 Kaido. I don't know if I need to go any more than 2. -5, this is on play. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with cost of 6 or less. This character gains rush during this turn. So this is a pretty decent card. This is more of an endgame card, in my opinion, not like just whack it out whenever you want kind of thing. I think, like, you know, you got your opponent's got a bit of a blocker board established, or maybe at least one blocker, and you need to get rid of that blocker and get one's final swing. Chuck him down, minus the Don back, and just swing for game. It's definitely a pretty good card. 3 Queens. So Queen's also a blocker, 5 cost, 1k counter. -1 Don back to the deck. Draw 2 cards, trash 1 from your hand. So it's a good way to filter another card into your hand, and it is also a blocker. Now, this card's new. This is an EB01 card, and I think it's actually quite decent. It's a 1 cost counter. If your leader has Impel down type, give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 2,000 power until the end of this battle. Then your opponent returns up to one of their active characters to the owner's hand. So I think this is pretty viable. The trigger is return up to one cost 3 or lower character to the bottom of the owner's deck. So I actually like this card. It did come in clutch with a couple of games when I've been practicing and playing around with the deck. Definitely viable in the deck, especially if you had the Hannibal Searcher. Oh no, you can't. Not with the Hannibal. You have to have the Buggy Searcher for that one. Because Hannibal only searches purple and the Buggy only searches blue. So it's pretty much of a muchness if you want to have a searcher in this deck, but I don't see that you really need to with having the Eva and the ulti as well. Definitely pretty viable as it is. And lastly, I decided to put this 2 of this in, Ragnarok. It's a 5 cost, -1 Don, KO up to one of your opponent's 8 costs or less. And then the trigger is to set up to 1 Don from your Don deck into players active. So that is the list, guys. This is the start list. This is not going to be the ultimate list that, you know, you all need to play. I will be playing around with the deck. I'll be making videos and changing up the deck. And each video that the deck's changed, I will be putting a deck list at the end of the video. So now we're going to go across to some gameplay. And let's see how it runs. Draw for turn. Deploy and use. Start ramping our Don. So we're going to be at 5 next turn. Duval. He's a strange character. So 6. We'll block this one. Don't want to take too much life. So we can play out... We'll attack for 5 because we're going to play out Magellan and then we'll bring him back to get our Dom back. I think that could be a good play style. Well, not play style. A good play. Yeah, okay, so they took the life like we wanted. Use. And then we're going to end turn, use this to ramp our Dom back. So we're still back at 5. So I'll be at 7. So we could probably knock him down a Don again. Try and keep him down a bit. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. We are going to try it. So I'll go 7, 8. Keep knocking them back a Don will be so annoying. Because now they're back at 3, so they're only going to go to 5. And I'm at 7, 8, 9. So we're in a good position where we can play out a Mihawk right now. Now, depending on what they're doing, that's probably something we do want to bottom deck. Just because it's going to get buffed. Are they going to let it go? Hopefully they do. Okay. Alright. So we can play back to back. You don't neg any Don with Dracula Mihawk, which is so good. Or as they say on the show, Hawkeye. So they're only at 7, so we're at 10 next turn. Let's play out Duval. So he's swinging 9 at me twice. Or once. So maybe a 9k swing and a 7k swing. Draw. That's what we wanted. Alright. Cancel. So I think the idea with this one is to make sure you clear board. Can we seal a win this round? Can we do it? Building up the board with blockers. Nine. Okay. What are you attacking into? For 9k. That was a good trigger again. Alright, let's go 10. Let's go 10. Seven. Probably got enough counter power in hand. Seven again. I really like the rush card, the Impel down one. It's pretty good. Alright. End turn. Don't need to use that because we've got 4 attackers on board and I'm already at 10 don. What can they do? What can you do? Oh, gonna rush me. This could be very interesting. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, that was not a good play. That was not a good play. Should have attacked with lead and then attacked with Haughty. So that was probably the only misplay for them at the end. Would have attacked with that first, couldn't counter out of it, take the life. I could only get to 7, they get to 8. So there you have it, guys. Hannibal can work. As I have said, I will be testing out Hannibal, trying to get him to work a lot better. Yeah, so I'm trying to test out Hannibal, get him to work a lot better, because I feel that purple would definitely be decent. He's a very different play style, like a few of the new leaders that have come out. So I guess I'll just keep testing him out and trying to perfect him and make him a lot better. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by, checking out the video. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.